All right. Welcome to another episode of How I Met Your Mortgage. You guys will have to bear with us. The start of the year, I mean, obviously, the entire world is weird. I like to say that the entire world is a cartoon, but at least America's leading the way. We're number one in cartoon. But we have had a few hiccups with the How I Met Your Mortgage video cast and podcast at the beginning of this year. Namely, last week, our guest was under the weather. We have rescheduled her for later in the year, so you guys will get a taste of that. And unfortunately, I had not been feeling well. I was really hoping that she would kind of pick up the slack for my inability to speak for any period of time at length anyway. And no such luck. She had let me know that she was under the weather and that I had hoped she would bear the burden of being the one doing most of the talking, and we did not succeed at that. Today, I was absolutely still going to get online, do an episode. I think our guest is just running a few minutes late, and we will get her on as soon as she is able. She said she would need a few minutes beyond 10:30, right about where we are now, to get her digital assets up and running, her computer, so on and so forth. So we will certainly do that. But in the interim, Happy New Year. Hope you guys had wonderful holidays. It's been a very bizarre year thus far. The last 12 months have obviously been a little bizarre. Not a whole lot going on that I would consider really relevant circumnavigating the arenas that I play in. One being a lead gen and client retention and team building coach for a lot of mortgage originators and real estate agents and a few other people along the way that have large ticket direct to consumer items like insurance agents and financial planners, and even a couple of car sales guys along the way. And I haven't really seen a whole lot change except for a couple of things in those two arenas. A couple of things. Oh, I guess I should mention the latter arenas that I do originate mortgages myself, boots on the ground, doing that work. And I have been a broker owner for what's about to be 21 years that we've been in business, a pretty cool number there, as well as having written mortgages for a few years before that for another company before I started my own brokerage. And the only thing I can really say that's relevant between those two arenas anytime as of late, of course, has been a fairly dramatic change in the mortgage-backed securities market. I would go in and give you guys some stats today. I'd be happy to do that, but it is a holiday. We are celebrating Dr. King's birthday, and certainly, hopefully, we're all giving a nod to all of the contributions that he made to humankind and certainly to those in our country. But the week prior, so I'm really kind of looking at like January 7, 8, 9 in that range, we did have some really big movement on the mortgage-backed securities market, and very, very positive upward movement in the mortgage-backed securities market. MBS is up, meaning rates are down, and we're at a point where rates are the lowest they've been, certainly since they peaked in what I believe was October of 22. Since that time frame, we have not seen everything consistent. I mean, pendulums swing back and forth in the different financial markets, and obviously it's been big as far as that goes. It does keep me on my toes, but that's really the only change that I've seen, and it's obviously generated a lot of work for us. I am happy to regale you guys with the fact that our guest seems to have been able to get in and on the computer. She has logged into our stuff. I don't see her. I'm going to go ahead and add her to our little group here so that she can see us. But a big, big JTT welcome to this week's guest, Eryn Henderson. Are you there, Eryn?
I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're all good. First,
thank you.
Just for those of you that are either listening to the podcast subsequent to the video cast or are seeing the video cast after the fact, I did mention that it's been an awkward year getting the ball rolling on all of this stuff, and that last week our guest was under the weather and couldn't do it and had to be rescheduled, as was I. And for those of you that are not watching this or listening to this live, or are not in our market, we woke up to a cold, snowy morning again here in the Denver metro area. And Eryn, if memory serves, you are in the Denver metro.
Yeah, I'm on the west side in Wheat Ridge.
In Wheat Ridge. Okay. So yeah, you probably even see it a little more than we did here in the south end of town, or than they did in the city. I did catch wind that one of my employees is dealing with a car crash, not hers, but her fairly new son-in-law. I was at their wedding a little over a year ago now. And yeah, I guess it's they're fairly nasty conditions out and about if you're in the Denver metro. So we've cut you a lot of slack, Eryn.
Thank you.
You're all good. All right.
Sorry.
Nah, don't be. But let's talk about you.
Okay.
That's really what we're here to do. It's not a secret to you, and certainly not to our regular viewers, listeners, but we do have something of a vetting process when we have people on the show, regardless of where they are. It happens to be really cool that Eryn is in our market. That's always a lot of fun because we get to drill down into some hyper-local things. But there's a vetting process of making sure that somebody that's going to come on and talk to our audience has done this for a minute and has done it really well. And Eryn, you're not short on accolades and awards and top producer that and top producer this and so on and so forth, whether it's in your company. I think there was a recent mention of your work in the year-end 5280 magazine. For those of you that aren't familiar, that's really the premier Denver magazine. It is really the only one that has the kind of readership that it does for a very local market, namely Denver and the surrounding areas. There actually are millions of people and 7 counties that make up that Denver metro area. But just so you guys know, Eryn knows her shit. Let's put it that way. She knows what she's doing. But what I want to know is, what was it like when Eryn didn't know her shit? When did you get started in real estate? Let's start there.
Well, I like that you think that I know my shit, and I really appreciate that.
Seat of her pants, everybody. She's just
fake it till you make it kind of scenario here, Adam.
What? It's working.
Oh, thank God. You asked me when I started?
When did you start? When did you get into real estate? How did you get into real estate?
Yeah, I started January 1, 2021. So.
Wow. Okay, that's huge. That might be the shortest period. Where are we at? 5 years.
I just finished my 5th year, yeah.
For a guest on our show. That's really cool. Okay.
Well, and I was on 2 years ago, so that was even cooler.
Has it been 2 years?
Yeah, I thought it was like more recent than that, and I looked back and I was like, oh shit.
Wow. Okay, then you are setting records left and right here.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I appreciate that.
Well, for us.
Okay, good. Well, for you, it's great. Okay. So anyways, I started in January. I just finished my 21. I finished my 5th year, starting my 6th, which is exciting. And so I got into it just kind of shortly after COVID.
Right.
Or kind of in COVID a little bit. But I had been in the liquor industry and throwing events and, doing trainings and supporting brands. And I just, it wasn't a viable industry anymore. I needed to find something that, I could do. And I figured it would be temporary. And then I would just go right back to my, normal life. And and then, it just really clicked with me from the beginning, and I loved it and just kept going.
Okay, that's amazing. And I know that none of us are going to understand what a normal life is or a normal workload or any of those kinds of things. But at 5 years, that's pretty good. I don't even know how to explain to our audience. Granted, there was an interesting period there where the real estate world was popping. No question about it. Pandemic, post-pandemic, things were busy. A lot of property moving. Probably in there, well, certainly in your career, the peak of what we've seen for values and prices.
Yep.
In that arena, the bottom for what we ever saw in interest rates. So there was a lot of motion. There was a lot of activity, a lot of perpetual movement going on, which is really, really cool. But you haven't let off the gas. You're still doing what you were doing then. What do you attribute that to? Because the real estate market isn't what it was in 21, 22.
Yes, it's not. And so I think what I can attribute is that I built such an awesome client base when it was kind of a shit show, right? That I have the, I guess, loyalty or just relationships to kind of continue that business on with referrals and, you know, maybe even second homes or repurchases, things like that. So, you know, when I started, that was the crazy boom, right? And then now, yeah, it's, to your point, it's extremely different, and it has been for probably the last 2 years. And it's a more of a struggle, right? It's not like you can just walk out your door and find 1,000 people wanting to buy and sell their homes. It's a little more challenging. So having that base from that time period was super, super helpful.
I'm sure. And we do emphasize the importance of that kind of work. Obviously, what we want for everybody in your space, in my space, and a number of others that JTT serves is to eventually build a strict repeat and referral business. Great goal. However, mostly comprised of repeat clients and client referrals, right? You don't ever want to be reliant on me doing my lead gen work as a mortgage originator, sending you buyers. And I don't ever want to be reliant.
But feel free. That would be great.
Oh, okay. So there you have it. Eryn said that's fine. And I don't ever want that either. And I've seen a lot of people, certainly in the origination space more than the real estate space, where the bulk of their business is coming from a team of real estate agents. And then the team disbands. The team leader retires. They go their separate ways. And all of a sudden, this particular loan originator sees a 50, 60, 70% drop in their business.
Right.
Okay. That is an issue. I mean, that could be significantly painful. We're not even just talking about the kind of dip that you're going to see from pandemic till now. And really, there isn't that much of a dip if we're comparing it then to what we'll probably see this spring. A lot of that because we're starting to see some balancing of the markets. A lot of it because we're seeing an enormous lack of competition. I'll be real curious to see how many realtors are still realtors in 2026. I'll be real curious to see that number.
Yep.
Same with loan originators. From the peak of the pandemic till now, we went from something close to 1 million federal mortgage licenses on the street to less than 100,000.
Wow.
There has not been coast to coast. There has not been a 90% drop, however, in the volume of people who want to borrow money. Yeah, nationwide.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So no, oh gosh, no, I don't think. I mean, even before there was regulation and licensing on the mortgage space in Colorado, I don't think we ever peaked more than like 25,000 people claiming that they originate loans. And then that first year that we did that was actually before you had started, but the first year that there was licensing over the mortgage industry in Colorado, it was like 4,000 people. I mean, it also had a pretty significant drop. So I think part of the issue that I'm witnessing, however, which is where the hair pulling comes in, and I mean that in a pulling your hair out way, for those of you, I know who you are. that it seems like while there are twice as many transactions, every one of them is twice as much work as 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I mean, it's just absolutely insane what I'm witnessing on both sides of the table there, whether you're buying or selling, whether you're a listing agent or a buyer's agent. Certainly, if you're in the origination space, it is wild how much more work every transaction is than it was in 21, 22.
Agreed.
That part of it, I think, has just blown my mind. And I can't explain the rhyme or reason for it. The market should be fairly balanced. We have a decent inventory in the major metropolitan areas. It's not really a buyer's market. I wouldn't call it a seller's market. And I can't figure out for the life of me what is going on other than the fact that the whole world is a cartoon. I said that before you came on, that America's leading the way. We're number one in cartoon. Yay. And that it certainly has a trickle-down effect into the real estate business.
Yep.
I mean, it's just looney toony right now.
Agreed.
What are some of the really weird things you've been dealing with?
Oh, God. I mean, and I probably can't speak to specifics, but I would say that I think, in my opinion, the reason why it's happening is because, buyers are starting to get a voice in the market, right? And so now that they are, it's not like, oh, I'll just bend over and whatever you guys want to do as the seller, we'll just do, right? And there's going to be no issue. We're just going to figure it out. We're going to just shut up about it, and it's just going to work.
I did see an inspection waiver recently.
Mm-hmm.
Just throw that out there. So that kind of thing still does exist. But yes.
Which is crazy.
Crazy, I know.
Please don't ever waive an inspection. Nobody. Don't ever do that. It's just not a smart idea.
It happened a lot in that era.
I never did it.
A lot of appraisal waivers, a lot of appraisal gap coverages. Now, don't get me wrong. I think, well, part of the problem with one of the houses that...
Oh, sorry. I was thinking inspection. I was like, don't ever do an appraisal waiver. Great. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do that all day. Sorry.
I'm actually seeing an inspection waiver.
Oh,
yeah. Recently, like a current active open transaction.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, because I can't tell you 100%. I wouldn't say that they're not doing an inspection. In fact, I think they did.
Okay, good.
But they're not requesting anything. They have agreed to waive inspection for the purposes of the seller.
Okay, good. I understand that. I was like, don't not do an inspection.
People get it inspected.
Yeah.
New builds, condos, I don't care what it is, get it inspected. You're buying a piece of dirt out in the middle of nowhere, get it inspected. Yeah. Even if you know full well there's absolutely nothing you can do to make the seller repair anything, replace anything, whatever it is, still get the knowledge of what you're stepping into. You want to know that the plumbing is shot, the power is shot, the roof is shot, the foundation is shot, whatever. Yeah, don't not do an inspection.
Right.
Whether or not the seller ever finds out about it, fine. But yeah, if you're buying a piece of property, I don't care what it is, please have it inspected. And if you need somebody to do that, I guarantee you, Eryn knows a ton of people that could tell you what the hell is wrong with whatever it is you're about to buy, because you want to know.
Yeah, that is the benefit of this job, is knowing all the people that know a lot more than I do about, roofs.
I think you just defined my hiring practices. I only take credit for hiring people smarter than I am.
Oh, yeah. Only surround yourself with people smarter than you.
So this is really an interesting time, though, especially in comparison to when we had you on the show last, and certainly in comparison to when you started in the real estate business.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is just because the general attitude of the country is kind of looney toony.
Yep.
Some of it is because we're in this really weird limbo between, is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? We don't know. Is it pocket to pocket? Is it property to property? Is it agent to agent? That may very well have an impact as well. I see a lot of different strategies going where agents are pricing a property high, expecting to get an offer and take it. And I see a lot where agents are still pricing properties low and hoping to spark something of a bidding war. We're going to have to review 4, 5, 6, 8 offers and figure out which one's going to be best, that kind of thing. And I think the strategies still vary greatly that way. And I think that's true on the buy side as well. Let's initially offer this and negotiate this. Then let's go through inspection and renegotiate this, these kinds of things. But I'm in a place now where I think just because of the transactions I'm seeing, the agents that we're working with for the most part on both sides of the table are really well seasoned. I mean, I just don't see a lot of agents that are brand new, that aren't doing any business, these kinds of things. It happens every now and then, one sneaks into the fold. But I think that it's been one of the most educated periods I've seen. And this has been a long time. I think, I don't know, I've owned my brokerage for coming up on 21 years. So it's been a quarter century or better. And I think this is the best time I've seen where agents on both sides of the table really know their shit.
I would agree. I think probably in the last year, the transactions that I did were all with agents that were seasoned, who understood the market, who understood the contract.
Could solve problems, had seen those problems before, so they knew how to fix them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. It was nice. Felt very
but it has to be
professional.
I think it has to be this way now because of how complicated the industry's become.
Complicated in what way?
Oh, 1,000. I mean, we could certainly roll the clock back and talk about how bizarre the NAR settlement was and what additional workload that put onto the still remaining agents. This idea behind whether or not it's a buyer's market, a seller's market, are we pricing appropriately? Are values going down? Are they going up? What's going on in the mortgage space? All kinds of things.
It's a little quirky. Yeah,
it's a little quirky. I think that's probably the understatement of the year. We're only 19 days in, so okay. But I think that if you want to be a successful real estate agent today, you need a deft touch. I mean, it has to be done surgically. It is really complex, and I have watched so many complicated transactions go in the last couple of years that the agents that are navigating them well are the ones that are still getting transactions.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that continues.
All right. Well, we'll see how that goes. Tell us what you are doing in that space. Are you staying in front of people via the phone, via your social media? I do love your social media, by the way. Your daughter's adorable.
Thank you. I think so.
Such a cute kid.
I know she makes me look better. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. I should take more advantage of that with my kids.
Right.
Yeah.
I have kids. What else are they for? Just to make you look good. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the movie, but there's a line I love that says, "Now we're just here to be memories for our kids." So let them constantly look better than you. Absolutely.
For sure.
So I think that there's so many things that we have to take into account nowadays. And the one I really wanted to put in front of you as we've been talking about this the last couple of days and going back through your social media channels and so on and so forth is AI. Because now I'm starting to see reports of where even the photos in real estate listings are AI generated, completely false.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I fall victim to AI in social, where I'm like, oh my God, look at this animal that just got saved. And, and then people will be like, that's not real.
Not real.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm so AI stupid. I'm just like, everything's real. I wouldn't be the one to ask about AI.
That's actually a really great attitude still to hold, because I think I've started to develop where I think everything is fake and I can't believe anything and trust no one. Right?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So I'm a little tainted when it comes to that. But this isn't anything that you're witnessing or experiencing yet in your business. You're not seeing somebody's listed a property that you have a buyer interested in, and it turns out the photos were fake.
Not yet.
The description was fake, or AI generated anyway, so grossly inaccurate in places. You haven't seen any of that yet?
No, not yet. I mean, honestly, I feel like maybe I'm a little naive, but like, why would somebody do that? Like, I don't get it. But because eventually, you go to the house, you do the inspection, you find all the stuff. I don't understand what the point would be, but like,
I get it. I would like to attribute it more to benefit of the doubt here for all of humankind, that it's a lack of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
That it's maybe worse than that, laziness, but that it's not deceitful. I think it's going to, border more on negligent than intentional.
I mean, I do see a lot of listing descriptions now that are very similar in wording to each other, and it's just kind of becoming the norm to like use AI for your listing descriptions. And I have absolutely done that. But then I absolutely go through and change all the things that are incorrect and kind of use words that are not used constantly in listing descriptions and make it a little bit more original. But yeah, I mean, there are benefits to AI, right? Like it saves time. I use it kind of very minimally and starting to understand a little more on the back end of, how to create better systems, how to, be more efficient with time. Like there are a lot of things that AI is beneficial for.
For somebody who says they're not really doing AI, you're speaking volumes here.
Well, I'm not. I mean, I think I've typed in like maybe 3 things into ChatGPT, but like, I mean, it's not like I use it often, but I'm learning because I do think like, and it's very clear that's the direction everything's heading, right? And I don't want to fall behind the 8 ball and have people that are, doing so many more productive things because of AI, and I'm just falling behind. I don't want it to be that way. I also don't want to fully rely on that as well. So there's finding that balance. But I could do without the fake videos on the internet that like pull at my heartstrings and make me think that the world is better when it's not.
So we didn't get a giant candy cane holiday AI generated picture of you this year?
I'm going to say hell no.
Okay, because I saw a lot of them.
I couldn't even. I was like, why is this a thing?
Okay, so I have a couple opinions about why it's a thing. People want to use AI.
Yeah.
They really do. And you should. All of you out there, you should. You should want to, and you should use it. However, let's be productive with it. I think the main hiccup I see is people struggling to differentiate between a data set and artificial intelligence. And we still treat AI like Google. A lot of people still treat AI like Google.
Yeah.
And the reference I like to make, because I do this, is that Google Maps is a robust data set, right? You get in your car, you tell it where you want it to go, and it knows everything in between. Stoplights, traffic jams, stop signs, addresses, businesses, restaurants, gas stations, on and on. But it's still just a data set. Now, if I tell it when I get in the car that, hey, I've got to make it to this meeting on time, I need to get gas, I'm hungry, and I have to go to the dry cleaner. Now Gemini, and I'm a Gemini user, I know a lot of people use ChatGPT, probably the majority, but my Gemini knows enough about me. And again, guys, garbage in, garbage out. Computers are still dumb. They only know what we teach it. But it knows me well enough that it's going to say, hey, you're going to have to stop and get gas here. It's the only one that's on your way. And you're not going to have time to eat unless you want to do gas station sushi. And by the way, that's not going to fit with your keto diet. And you're just going to have to do the dry cleaner after your meeting. But they close at 5:30. You should be fine. That thought process, that analysis is the AI.
Well, that's the thing that, like, for me, it didn't even occur to me that you could do that. So, like, I don't even know the capabilities to even think to use it for that. Like, I didn't know you could ask it to plan your life. Like, I didn't know that.
Oh, sure.
I had no idea.
As long as you've taught it enough about you, then absolutely. But what But what I think we're seeing is either people doing the cheesy giant candy cane Christmas picture.
Right.
Or what was the one before that was so funny? The action figure.
Oh, yeah.
That one was hilarious.
Like superhero kind of thing or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And the only other alternative I see en masse still, and God, I wish there was a way to break this habit, is people creating problems for AI to solve that they don't have and didn't need, rather than using AI to solve the problems they already have. Right?
Yeah.
So and I don't know how we get over that mental speed bump, but hopefully we're slowly learning how to get there. But yeah, it is relevant, people. There is a lot to it. And if you're in the real estate space, and Eryn's right, use it to help you write listing descriptions. That's a great way to start. Obviously, don't take what it says word for word, copy paste, and be done, because that's not going to work. And if nothing else, we should have learned that lesson. We had a fairly relevant court case in Colorado. I can't remember the specifics, but it was the My Pillow guy and his attorneys. Yeah, and I want to say it was around voter fraud or election fraud, but his attorneys wrote their briefs in AI, submitted them directly to the court without editing, and the judge caught it. Said, I know your briefs were written by AI. This is just one of the most offensive things I've ever seen in the legal world, and it's not going to fly. That was obviously a big hit to that particular case. Same kind of thing if you're listing a property. Yes, use AI to help you write a listing description. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but you need to make sure that it's correct and accurate, and that it's unique and individualized. Right. Specific to the property. And I saw a colleague of mine talks about this all the time. He had he's a mortgage originator, had a real estate colleague who could not get this one particular property sold. And as it turned out, the property was like the biggest lot in the neighborhood by a long shot. In fact, big enough and zoned correctly to do horses. And that was never put in the listing. So she let AI take a crack at it. Hey, biggest lot in the county, whatever it was. And sure enough, it sold very, very quickly once she updated the listing description using what she had picked up in AI. The other piece of it that I think you guys would find really, really valuable is odds are good, even beyond listing descriptions, that you've done some writing in the past. Robust emails, articles, maybe you've written for Realtor Magazine, or maybe you've written a book, who knows? Anything you've written in your own voice, historically, upload that into your AI. Great way to teach it about how you speak, how you write, how you read, your language, I don't want to say it's going to bring all these things in, because there's a lot that goes into nonverbal communication, and certainly in non-written communication, but tone, inflection, sense of humor, all of these kinds of things. So I think that's a great way to get started. Listing descriptions, upload anything else you've written. But yeah, bottom line, Eryn, you got to teach it about you.
Yeah, well, I have to teach myself about me first.
All right.
A lot of self-awareness needs to happen before I can,
That's a tough one.
That's AI.
If you want to get on the couch, we can do some psychotherapy.
No.
Introspection's a tough one. We struggle with it. It's why people don't like therapy. It's why people are averse to coaching. It's why
I think I'm doing well with it, but I just kind of look at every day as like learning.
Yeah. We just don't like to be told where we suck.
Right.
Where we need to get better.
Humans
are funny that way. All right. What are you going to do different in 26 that you did in 24, 25? What are you going to adopt that's new, that's a change, a shift?
On the back end, I would really like to start using my CRM a little bit more and being more systematic. I'm just never one of those people that's very planned. I'm very much like, oh, I'll do this and then I'll do this other thing. And that, it's all just going to work out. And I still actually really feel that way. But I do think that there's a lot of value that I'm missing in being a little bit more systemized and intentional.
Regimented.
How I'm approaching things. I'm sorry?
Regimented.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eryn,
regimented. I'm not that way.
Okay.
It doesn't work that way, but I'm going to try.
Well, I can tell you that happiness is a well-oiled calendar. So yeah, absolutely use your CRM, all its capabilities, contact information, calendar structure, content, figure out different audiences, what they should be seeing, reading, hearing from you.
Right.
And then, yeah, take advantage of all the different ways to stay in front of people. We talk about this a lot. In fact, the contact management and calendar management, general basic CRM stuff, are the first modules in our coaching program. And I think we have identified that we touch our roughly 20,000 person contact database 40 to 70 times a year, depending on who they are.
That's significant.
Yeah. And all different manners, whether it's, text campaigns, voicemail campaigns, actual phone calls, emails, HomeBot, I know is one of those. There's 12 times a year, actually more because we take advantage of their video distribution system as well. Do a couple of videos a month, or at least try to that way. So yeah, there are thousands of great systemized, almost completely automated ways that you can stay in front of your contact database. And I'll give you one more, and this is for all of you. As important as it is to be getting your audience, your contact database, your social media audiences, however you want to describe it, to consume more of your content. And again, I don't want that to be in the normal terminology. When we say content, we think a lot about social media and video, that kind of thing. But if you're a networker and you want to go to networking events and meet people one-on-one, whatever shit comes out of your mouth, that's your content. If you're doing postcard mailers, the Broncos schedule, whatever it is, that's your content. So broaden the definition of content. But in addition to getting more people in addition to getting your audience to consume more of your content, you've got to also focus on growing that audience. You've got to be meeting people. You've got to be putting new people into your contact database, into your social media audiences all the time. More people consuming more of your content. And I think one of the slides in my very first class along this coaching path, the class was zero cost marketing for repeat and referral business. And I think one of the slides actually just said, he who has the most friends wins.
In social, sure.
Yeah, period. Do you want people to refer you business?
Yeah.
You got to have people to do that.
Absolutely. But you also have to be good at what you do, or they're not going to refer you.
Oh, yeah. That's even a precursor. Yeah. If your systems aren't in place for your actual business, you're not giving people a good experience, then yeah, there's no point. They're not going to use you again. They're not going to refer people to you. Yeah. Well, Eryn, thank you. I know we ran a little over and we accommodated a little bit for a snowy, cold, technical morning.
Yeah. Thanks for your patience.
I'm glad you were able to do it. I'll put it in the books to get you on another episode because I really do love this, and I'm dying to hear how your 26 runs.
I'm dying to know as well.
Excellent.
Fingers crossed.
All right. For the rest of you watching, listening, live or in syndication, thank you for doing so. Well, we do a live video cast on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube at 10:30 Mountain Time. So that's 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern. Again, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. And 48 hours later, you can catch the podcast on Apple, Amazon, and Spotify. So Eryn's episode will be up on Wednesday. You can find all kinds of other content, past podcast episodes, our weekly video blog, the weekly little tip, copies of books, info about our conferences, whatever the hell you guys want to find out about us at justthetipscoaching.com. Other than that, Eryn, thank you. I know carving out this kind of time on a Monday morning is no small task. I love that you do it for us, and let's do it again.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Actually, one more thing before you go. I see you getting ready to click exit there.
No, you're good.
I know. How does our audience find you? If I'm in this market and I want to buy or sell a house, how do I reach Eryn?
You can Google me, Eryn Henderson, realtor.
ERYN, everybody.
ERYN.
She's an easy Google that way because it is the atypical spelling Eryn Henderson.
And honestly, that's probably just the best way, right? It'll give you all my stuff, and then you can go and click on whatever you want.
Yeah, and she's not hiding, everybody. She's an easy Google.
I'm here.
And she's not dodging the IRS or anything, so you'll be able to find her.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, the rest of you, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week with another episode of How I Met Your Mortgage. You guys have a great week.